Welcome back everyone, and this is me building a double pulse spot welder and about to drill a hole into the box I'm making, and from here we're going to go on with the whole setup. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, sorry for the flicker, it's from the light above me. I need some lighting. This is my double pulse spot welder. It will be replacing my single pulse spot welder, and I've got a 12 volt 1.2 amp AC adapter to use. Sorry about that flicker, it's not much I can do about it at the moment. I've just got to check it and make sure I've got this up the right way. I had to use a bit of perspex instead of the wood because it's just not, it's too thin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some standoffs and stand that off from the actual perspex so it doesn't get wrecked, and check that it's up the right way. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. I'm going to have some standoffs either side of it and sit it in there behind that, and I will then need a 12 volt DC voltage for my other stuff. I could actually just make a bridge rectifier and a bit of a smoothing circuit to do it, just for the fans. It'd probably be a good idea, but I want it separate to do this just in case anything goes wrong with the fans. So I've locked it on to the back with a bit of hot glue. It's not perfect, but it's going to work. And then I'm just going to hot glue the sides onto the wood, and that'll get me ready to move ahead. This is really quick and nasty, because if you were going to spend money, you could get the battery operated type, which would probably be cheaper than doing it my way. And although this one I think will last a lot longer than the other ones. Okay, so I've drilled 2 holes in here. Not really good cable, but that's what I've got at the moment. I'm going to glue this up to here, put that there, and put the power supply thing in here somewhere, and the other power supply will be over on the left hand side, or maybe up the front here. I will also put some sort of heatsink on a MOSFET. Anyway, I'm going to put that all in there. This is going to run to one side of that switch, and the other working on this. And I was going to solder these onto here, but then I thought, why not use one of these? Now, probably most of you haven't seen one of these, and I've never seen one of these until my son-in-law, who's an electrician, came home with one. And all it is you put the wires through, they clip in and plug on. So I can plug it on there, like that. Could be wires cutting through, which we'll sort out in a minute. And then I'll have it glued down to there, and then the second one will just do the same thing. I'll just hook it up to there, switch the cables over, and hey presto, hopefully I'll be able to, I might have to move this, take the glue off it and move it back just to get it in there, but they should work perfectly. What do you think, guys? Stuck these 2 on, and all I'm going to do is, that's my neutral, which is the blue wire. I'll push it down like that. If I can get it in there. And because I've already got this wire just hanging here, it won't really cause any grief. Very much. And it's all the way down. You see I've pushed it all the way in. It's got a little bit of play in there. I'll run the other wire over the other side. There's no earth cutting through there. I could put an earth on, but what really is the point? It could. If you're pedantic, you can put an earth on, because I'm not going to be going inside the box once it's done. And it's a matter of getting it in there. Oh yeah, like that. Okay, I've just soldered all the wiring on here. This is the input, and that's the output over here. Now this will be screwed onto the floor. I've moved the wiring underneath the main wires because you're going to induce a lot of RF into there, or not RF, probably a low audio frequency into these. So you don't want about 50 hertz in this case. If you were in America, probably 60 hertz. And I've got all these locked up here, pretty cool things. If you can't find them, give me a yell. I'll see if I can find them for you. And yeah, and then all I have to do is hook this into here, cut the rest of that wire off, and we're done, pretty much. I'm going to heat shrink that just in case I need an earth somewhere. At the moment, it's only bringing in for the power supplies and this transformer. I haven't got an earth on it, no. I might put an earth onto here somewhere. I might spot weld that onto there with the other spot welder, or maybe even my welder, just to give it a little bit of a earthing platform. This thing's almost ready to go, and then I've just got to make up some sort of a connection to the front here to connect onto my unit there, which I'm going to put on this one. So I'm going to take it off that one, and yeah, because they're dear and I can't afford a second one. I'm trying to reuse my equipment. I had to shave that off a little bit because I didn't have one that will fit, and then I've just soldered it and removed most of the solder to fit it in there, and that won't come out, and that'll just fit into there, and that's your neutral, and that neutral goes straight down to the transformer. So it doesn't matter which way you put it around in the transformer, it's just inducing a magnetic field into the secondary, and that's an 18 frequency that causes a magnetic field which jumps into the secondary. So yeah, and that's a microwave transformer. Waiting for what? On the project of the spot welder, I've cut these shorter so they can cut through these two holes here, and I'll attach them on the other side. I've glued this onto here because it was the only connector I had. Now the connector plugs in here but goes up here and plugs in the center. It's not actually a power connector, it's actually a micro switch. There's a micro switch down the bottom, so when you touch these up, it will contact and put maybe a short out between these two pins, and it will go to the micro and tell it to start its programming. So that is coming through here, and I'll use my magic tool, hydraulic tool, to put some connectors on the end. So I've got my magic tool here, and that will be that model there. And I've done a review on that, and it's a pretty good tool. And I will connect it up to here, and then I'll connect these two with some bolts to the end of here. And I've reused this off my other project, my original spot welder, because it's such a good product. And yeah, pretty much a 3D printed part here, and all the rest is copper, and they screw into the blocks and put some pins on the end, which I think is pretty cool. Anyway, we'll keep working on it. Okay, so I've glued these down, and I found that I had to use it sideways and upside down to actually get it to do the job that I need it to do. So now I'm going to have to undo it from underneath to let the pressure off and see if I got it right. It looks alright. Let's have a quick look. It doesn't seem to be coming off, so I'm happy with that. That'll do the job. I might have to cover it with a bit of heat shrink, which I'll do at the end. I'll just have to do the other one and we're finished that bit. At no expense, I've gone and spent $14 or $15 on some heat shrink that I can use to reduce over the top of these terminals for a spot welder, a double pulse spot welder. For the fun part, okay, So to adjust this, press it once or hold it in. It will flash whatever you want, and then you press it again and it should come up for the first position, which is that position there. And when you press it again, it'll come up for the second position, and that is your time setting. So don't worry about the 1 or the 2, because they're just there for appearance, for number 1 time, number 2 time. And then the current is this here that's set there. So if you're smart, you put it down low first. Once you've done that, you keep flicking your control until you get down to the interval is in between periods, I believe. So the wider the interval, the closer the interval, the closer the pulses are. And the final thing you do is you have to exit, which is your exit position, and it saves the information. Now when you're using your spot welder, you have to press it quickly, because if you don't press quick, it won't trigger it. So that's what you've got to do. So when you're doing it, and if I'm on top there, I'm pressing really quick. So if I'm not going to do it there because it's not a really great position. I'll put it in a bit. There you go. So when you press it, you just do it quickly and it'll fire off. And because I've got one hand trying to do it, I've got too much pressure on the bloody thing, and it's up the house at the moment, so you can see that. Did it quite quickly. So if I do it quickly, it normally would hold it on, but I believe that I probably need to up the time period, so let's just do that quickly. Try and connect these two together and flip them over. I'll just hook it up that way. And not putting too much force on it, so let's see if I can do that. Okay. Don't know whether it's... Anyway, it's hooked it up together, so they are hooked up. They're pretty reasonable, and that's not too bad for a homemade spot welder. Adjustments are about the only thing I need to do, and that's it. So if you like this video, and I've got to cover that up and finish it, if you like this video, please like and subscribe. I do these just for fun, so they do cost me a little bit of money, but I enjoy doing them. So there'll be more to come, and some surprises on the way.